Call the member for Balcombe Hills.
Thank you, Mr Acting Speaker. Before I make my comments, can I ask the Chamber to acknowledge in the gallery Lieutenant Colonel John Moore, OAM RFDED, and acknowledge his contribution to Veterans Affairs and particularly to Reserve Forces Day. But Mr Acting Speaker, I'm here as part of I rise to raise in the House the matter of the promotion of General Sir John Monash to Field Marshal posthumously. So, as part of the centenary of Anzac, Mr Acting Speaker, I have had the opportunity to go around New South Wales from Brewarrina to Balmain, as recently as last week, from Cootamundra to Cessnock, collecting soil for the Anzac Memorial. Lismore as well, Mr Acting Speaker. During these visits, I've been able to pay my respects to diggers across the state, both past and present. Nevertheless, today I stopped to think about one digger, General Sir John Monash. I must say from the outset that I'm a great supporter of the posthumous promotion of John Monash one step in rank to Field Marshal this year, and that is the Jerilderie proposition, which I quote is, following on the outstanding contribution of Sir John Monash to state and nation before, during and after World War I, and reflecting on the fact that Sir John Monash received no Australian awards or honours post 11th of November 1918, the Prime Minister should approve by Government Gazette publication the posthumous promotion of one step in rank of General Sir John Monash to the rank of Australian Field Marshal with effect 11th of November 1930, 1 year after Sir John Monash was eventually promoted to the rank of General. Mr Acting Speaker, in a letter to a cousin, a 17-year-old John Monash once said, quote, "To what country and people do I owe most? To that which I have never seen, with which I have no connection, but that it is in the home of some of my relatives, or to that in which and among whom I was born, have grown up, where I have learned all that I know, to which I owe all happiness that I have experienced. Shall I in return for this look upon it as a foreign land, to be deserted at the first convenient opportunity? No, it is my native land. I have contracted from it a heavy debt, and it will ever be, to me, a prominent object in some measure to repay that debt." They were the words of a 17-year-old Sir John Monash. An older Lieutenant General John Monash later led 6,000 diggers of the Australian Army Corps and 2,000 American soldiers to a small but significant battle in the victory in the Battle of Hamel on the 4th of July 1918, freeing Hamel in only 93 minutes, just 3 minutes longer than he had anticipated in his planning for that battle. Monash had a striking, quick-witted intelligence and analytical mind and razor-sharp attention to detail. He was fearless in battle, took considerable risk and displayed an uncommon empathy for his troops. Following the war, Monash openly declared that he only wished to give back to the community. Monash proclaimed one ought to, quote, "adopt as a fundamental creed that you will equip yourself for life, not solely for your own benefit, but for the benefit of the whole community." I hope this philosophy seeks to inspire and touch the hearts of all Australians. We should never take the defence of our nation for granted. We must always remember that our fallen and standing protectors have heroically sacrificed to allow our beloved nation to flourish as it is today. Mr Acting Speaker, it is for this reason that I call upon all members of this House to support the posthumous promotion of General Sir John Monash to the rank of Field Marshal by the end of this year, as a salute to one of Australia's greatest generals and a remarkable citizen. I thank my colleagues in the Commonwealth Parliament, both past and present, for support of this move, particularly Tim Fischer, Josh Frydenberg and of course Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull, who also had made comment before his elevation to that position that he supported the promotion of Sir John Monash to Field Marshal. When I reflect on this life of service, I think back to the heavy debt a young John Monash thought he owed it to Australia. I think we can all agree that this debt was paid in full when we consider the battle in Hamel. A battle, Mr Acting Speaker, as you're well aware, we will commemorate the centenary of this year. Mr Acting Speaker, as a salute to all members of the 1st Australian Imperial Force in World War I, as a salute to all Australian soldiers who have served this country, both the 102,000 who have given their life and the many, many millions that call themselves veterans of the ADF, I call upon these members of this House to support the creation, to support the promotion of Sir John Monash. I also suggest to the members of this House that it is also time for us to consider the creation of a cemetery similar to Arlington in the United States to immortalise the legacy of the fallen as part of this, the centenary of Anzac.
Absolutely.